We were talking about the overlays and stuff. So like go with go with the same style as last year, but I don't want to just copy and paste it. But I also don't really know how else to make it different. And I mean, we can look at it, but
My ultimate is ready.
my designs. Huh? I mean, there isn't an obvious, like, with mine that uses the motion backgrounds that I buy, and like there is no one for a Famicom specific thing. Like,
I'm capturing the objective.
that said, I'm talking about this using the same style as overlays as last year, but mixing it up a little bit. So actual overlays instead of my motion stuff.
And she's back in the game.
The overlays from last year.
Healing stream engaged.
My aim is true.
I can make it as good as his, but I don't think I can make it like better. Uh, I just don't know where other improvements can be made other than just a little bit of changes. Actually, like the where the scores are is a little bit weird, but that's a small thing. Yeah, that well, like that's pretty much it as far as the singles overlay. I did think the multi views, that stuff was like perfect. The only thing I did not like the lower thirds at all. Like, um, it's like it's mostly about the singles overlay.
Wait for it. Cracking.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, oh hold on, wait, Wii U doubles. Last I
In the fight.
no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of tipped off. Are they doing Wii U doubles at Super Famicom?
Yeah.
All systems checked out.
So check out the schedule for it. It has it going from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. for like 50 entrants. He fucked up the schedule and made hundreds of prints of the schedule.
Oh, so that's wrong.
The one that, if you've seen a poster like or an image going around of the schedule, it's completely wrong.
Mm.
It's so wrong that it doesn't even have a final bracket for either of the games.
They've got a teleporter. We've got to find it.
What are you talking about? When?
Nerf this. Mecha activated. I believe I will watch over you. Back to work.
Um. Anyway, so like,
Let's
Yeah,
um.
that's a fucking asshole.
So what was I saying? What was I saying? I mean, I do think like the static overlays work well for this. Like, I really don't think there's a non-static overlay we could use that would fit at all. Made one, it would be way more work than the static ones, and not really. It wouldn't fit. No, there is, there is no appropriate moving overlay. I've looked through them. Unless you get
For
something that's like so like
Someone see. Someone see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
yeah, that's pretty much it. He had gotten someone to make a poster of it was actually kind of cool. It had all a bunch of hands lifting up holding the different Nintendo controllers, but that was just a little poster and you can't make a theme around it.
Uh, I'm not sure about for the actual overlays, but if you want to, like, for the Super Famicom symbol from like last year's layout, if you could like add some quirks, I guess, to it. So like, you can find a like a GIF or like little .mov of the red, blue, green, and yellow like moving around in a circle or something, and then coming back to the Super Famicom thing. I'm sure someone's made it somewhere in the world. I can't imagine.
Are you saying just for the logo where we have it, or like using a motion background thing?
Like, not even a motion background. Like, get rid of the logo on the layout, and then, or you could just make it all a motion background if you really want. But I don't think it's too necessary because it's only one moving part. And then,
Yeah.
like, instead of, because, yeah, finding a moving background for that would be a little hard. So if you just add little quirks, to make it like, oh wow, that's really nice little addition. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I could try to find something.
So like Brandon, as far as getting a motion background, like what would even fit this? Theoretically, if it exists, what would fit a theme?
My ultimate is almost ready.
Right, I think only this.
Defend the objective.
Heroes never die. You got what's coming.
Are you cutting out?
Yeah, I think you're cutting out, Brandon. Oh.
Yeah, the problem is the only theme there is basically just it's the same thing. It's Super Famicom.
So here is just like an example of what I mean, but also not really. This isn't really what I'm looking for. But...
I do get what you meant. It's just having the logo be animated.
Yeah, like this is like nice. You could just change it to, if you could. I'm not sure how, but that's something I'm kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just like, but I would like the moving thing. That'd be so cool.
Another option is instead of having a Super Famicom theme, we can have Super Nintendo theme.
Oh, that'd be so much easier.
But the thing
You
is,
could have
like
the-
with the SNES theme, it's like it's very dark. Like it just doesn't look as nice in this. I can't see it looking as nice here. Like the logo, yeah, definitely. But like as far as if you think about like the just static parts of an overlay, like it's gonna be very. If you like look at if you look at SNES box art and stuff, like imagine that put into an overlay, it doesn't really work.
Yeah. Ooh, I think... Oh my god. This is kind of exactly what I was fucking talking about. Oh my god, look at this. It'd be nice if they did 60 FPS. Alright, check this out. Oh, it's a YouTube video. That's check it out, though.
Yeah, like I could see some animation like that working. Like that one in particular is probably too distracting to have just on the lower, corner going during the game. But like,
Well, if
more
you just do it, where like it doesn't come in from the sides, if you just do it the spinning to back to normal, and then every like 20 seconds spinning back to normal.
yeah. I think we need to be like a lot slower or something. Maybe not as long. It's really, really easy to have something that distracts the viewer from the game.
Yeah.
Or like
Well,
it,
this again, you could like edit it to whatever you want. It's kind of crazy how I described what GIF I was talking about, and then I found the exact thing I was talking about. Maybe I've seen it before in the past.
I do think there's potential to animate that little logo.
Yeah, because you could. I mean, you could easily make this into a dot
Also,
MOV.
the same thing for a stinger.
I will protect the innocent.
Like what you're talking about that wouldn't like something exactly like that where it's kind of fast and stuff might not work as well for an otherwise static overlay, but for a stinger where it's supposed to be moving, that might work well.
Well, I'm sorry. What's a stinger?
The when you transition into another scene and there's like a little animation going between the scenes, that's a stinger.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Cool. Here's something you might like. I'm not sure exactly how you'd use this, but check that out. That's pretty nice. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Round 2, loss.
Well, it's nice, but
Yeah, it's kind of simple, but like it's a proof of concept.
yeah. Also, they kind of like fucked up the like they're not evenly spaced.
Yeah.
Back to the objective.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
But
Genji.
yeah, something to consider, especially because you haven't started yet on making the layouts right.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is like I just don't see any other option than going with the Super Famicom, aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Capture the objective.
Like
Again, I think you just change minor things. Like, there's nothing wrong with last year's. So if you just add some minor stuff, you can make it just pop even more. Because Super Famicom's a pretty big event, and especially since you have there's a lot of big players. It's gonna be viewed a lot on YouTube.
yeah, on Brandon, we were talking about Wii U overlays before, and no, look up their most recent event, I guess. What was it? Was 2GD Fire Emblem was the last one.
You said TTG?
So that's actually exactly.
Oh.
I was going to say the exact same thing, but I was going to point to Big House 7 as the example. But that's what I had proposed like a long time ago, and now I guess other events are doing it as well. Yeah, I think that's a simple thing and it works, and there's not really a reason not to do it. Well, that's what I've said for like I was talking about Wii U overlays like 2 years ago, and I was like, why aren't this works fine, but like made it way too complicated with like the lowering the size of the game screen and doing some other shit with it. Like this looks fine. So like I think we do this. What was you just proposed it before I said it? Then though with Sean's stream of it, we should decide whether or not we have like good with the player cams, but like if his cameras aren't as, we don't have the same camera setup. And also another thing I just thought about is that works really well when you have a dual setup. I don't know if it might. I guess it'd still look fine, kind of like from the corner side, kind of from the front.
Well, okay, so I'll test everything out beforehand again, but because I downloaded some program. It's just like everything went to shit when I was trying to plug it into the USB 3.0 port for whatever reason. But I have a program where I could like when I have this two C920s plugged in, I can label like each one through the program, and so when I go to search for it on XSplit, they will both pop up. Because if you're not using it, only one C920 thing will pop up.
Yeah.
So I should be able to get both, and as long as, because I had like auto on for everything, I had Heart of the South, and it made the white balance was fucking shit.
Yeah,
But
that's
then
well.
I turned it off for the melee games, and it looked much better.
Yeah, that's not surprising. C920s they're good. You can get good images.